Hey guys, this is USMC Wolverine. Today's September 5th, 2020, 6:14 a.m. Central Time. News, articles, ad-libbing. For anyone who's finding this video for the first time, meaning you're not one of my subscribers, I'm not explaining why I'm doing these videos, but I will tell you this. The articles I have chosen are at random. I have not read them. This will be the first time I'm reading them, and I will have commentary. And this video will not be edited. So it'll either be funny, interesting, or dumb to you. Turn it off if you think it's retarded. I don't want to hear your fucking mouth run. Anyway, I have Fox on my phone. So I went through and found random articles. Some of them I'll go over in my Patreon account. But quite a few of them I'll go on here. And so I use Fox for a lot of their breaking news. And believe it or not, a lot of Fox shit is actually kind of accurate compared to a lot of other stuff. There's actually journalism versus just opinion. So anyway, Fox Business, Amazon expanding to 25,000 workers in Seattle suburb report. Amazon now hosts 3,000 workers there and has been growing in its presence steadily. This came out 3 hours ago, and I think that's a retarded idea to have done this there. The Seattle suburb of Bellevue may soon be Amazon's unofficial headquarters 3, HQ3. The Seattle-based tech giant announced Friday that it was going to expand its workforce footprint in Bellevue, with new office space plans that will host a total of 25,000 employees in the several next years. And Seattle Times reports. That's the same number of employees promised for Arlington, Virginia by 2030. The Washington, D.C. area won Amazon's closely watched HQ2 sweepstakes in 2018 by offering $573 million in cash grants and tax incentives. Amazon, in exchange, pledged to bring 25,000 new jobs and will pay an average of $150,000 a year. Bellevue, meanwhile, hasn't provided tax breaks or financial incentives to lure Amazon. Wow, I wonder why they're bothering. Since 2016, the company has leased a space in the Tony East Side suburb, about 10 miles east of downtown Seattle, just across Lake Washington. Amazon now hosts about 3,000 workers there and has been growing its presence steadily in Bellevue's robust downtown corridor, which will soon be linked to the Link Light Rail Station. The latest announcements details Amazon's plans for the Tony East Side suburb, which will include leasing 2 million square feet at 2 towers that are both under construction. The company is also seeking a permit for a second skyscraper of its own, the Seattle Times reports. John Schultzler, I don't fucking care, Amazon Vice President of Global Real Estate and Facilities, called Bellevue a, quote, business-friendly community with great amenities and high quality of life and a fantastic talent pool, end quote. Oh, God, where has he been? Amazon's main presence will be near the downtown Seattle, where it hosts about 55,000 employees in a mix of buildings it leases and owns, the company said. It has no new project plans for Seattle and wouldn't comment on its future hiring in the city. Amazon has yet to comment publicly on Seattle's recently approved 1.4 payroll tax on salaries employees earning $150,000 or more, but the Downtown Seattle Association, of which Amazon is a member, has opposed the city's new tax, saying it will prompt employers to leave Seattle. The tax, which goes into effect next year, is expected to raise more than $200 million per year for homelessness services in the city's coronavirus pandemic response, among other issues. Bullshit. That money's going in the pockets of politicians. You can see what they're doing for homeless in California. They're doing awesome. And then shoving them in a bunch of hotels. Good job. Since moving and rapidly transforming Seattle, the company has proudly touted its urban location as a unique model that appeals to young, city-loving workforce that was in contrast to the usual suburban tech company headquarters build-out. The latest expansion to downtown Bellevue is a blend of the two campus models and puts Amazon closer to rival Microsoft's Redmond location. It's also a homecoming for Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos, who started his books by mail business 26 years ago in a Bellevue garage. Amazon workers aren't expected to get back into office until January 2021. They're a rival of Microsoft? What the motherfuck? Does Microsoft have a website where they sell shit? I'm unaware of it. Anyway, I did a video a while back on my other account, obviously, talking about Bloomberg, and I thought he was going to become president, right? And I obviously haven't read this article, but I saw this and was like, I wonder what it says. Bloomberg, iced out of Biden campaign, pumps up influence nationally and locally. So let's check it out. Also, Fox Business came out 12 hours ago. It says billionaire Mike Bloomberg may be out of politics, but that does not mean he's not working behind the scenes to influence the U.S. presidential election and the New York City mayoral race, Fox Business has learned. Bloomberg, a Wall Street veteran and founder of the infamous financial data and news outfit Bloomberg LP, serves 3 terms in New York City's mayor before launching a short-lived campaign to be a Democratic Party's 2020 presidential nominee. He served 3-year terms. Can you serve 3 terms? That's crazy. How many terms can a New York City mayor run? How long has de Blasio been around? Can he get fucking reelected? Since pulling out of the race, he has, at least publicly, remained out of the national spotlight, although he did speak at a party's virtual convention last month when former Vice President Joe Biden was officially nominated to run against President Trump in November. Privately, however, Bloomberg appears to be more active nationally and locally. Democratic Party advisors said he has been trying to insert himself into the Biden campaign and influence policy. According to the people with direct knowledge of the matter, Bloomberg, during his years as mayor, ran as a Republican and independent, but governed as a moderate, particularly on economic issues. In 2018, he registered as a Democrat and has vowed spending millions of dollars of his estimated $55 billion fortune to defeat Trump. It's unclear exactly what Bloomberg is seeking to accomplish, but according to one of the veteran political advisors with knowledge of the matter, the former mayor, quote, feels iced out, end quote, by the Biden campaign, even as he's beginning to spend money and support Democratic candidates for Congress. And some people said planning to steer money to political action committees supporting Biden. Speaking of which, Markey, that law won against a Kennedy in Massachusetts, I really thought Kennedy had a chance. I think it shows everything about how much power that fucking piece of shit, itty bitty, retard, socialist AOC has power in this party. Because her pact that she started a while back has millions of dollars in it. I don't know where it's coming from, but she is backing many candidates for Congress. And Markey was one of them. And he's been in Congress for decades, okay? And Kennedy was backed by Pelosi. So that says a lot. But Kennedy, he should have won, and it's ridiculous that he didn't. But Markey was the one that backed the Green New Deal. He used to be kind of a moderate when I was watching him. Not really, but kind of. But he has since, in the last year, turned retard. And so AOC and the AOC PAC backed him, and look what happened. Anyway, quote, he's frustrated. He didn't have input, end quote. One person with the knowledge of Bloomberg's comments told Fox Business, if I was Bloomberg and I didn't have any of this policy shit with Biden's campaign, he'd go suck a dick. There's no way I'd be spending millions or billions of dollars for a Democratic Party when I don't have any influence on it whatsoever. Kiss my ass. I actually like some of Bloomberg's policies, and probably because the Democrats sound so goddamn crazy that he sounds a little bit moderate and logical. Not saying I agree with the policies, but it's not a policy of, hey, let's run off a fucking cliff. Anyway, In terms of New York City, Bloomberg has not politically commented on the job performance of his successor, Mayor Bill de Blasio, the current occupant of Gracie Mansion, and has been criticized for dramatic increase in crime, putting homeless people in hotels. Oh, they're doing that there too, huh? In residential neighborhoods, and for his prolonged lockdown of the city's economy during COVID-19 pandemic, which has led to widespread job loss, especially in the restaurant business. City eateries had employed 300,000 people, but only remain open for outdoor eating. Takeout and delivery, many are facing bankruptcy, and if they do not resume indoor dining soon. De Blasio's term doesn't end until November 2021. Wow. And he is prohibited, there we go, from running for a third term because of term limits. But Bloomberg appears to be throwing his support and possibly his sizable bank account behind another financial executive who is telling people he wants a job. People with direct knowledge of Bloomberg's efforts told Fox News he has been citing urging Citibank Vice Chairman Ray McGuire for running for mayor. McGuire has conceded to friends he does intend to run for a moderate Democrat, modeled largely after Bloomberg's model of governance, as opposed to the progressive agenda of high taxes and tax policy of de Blasio. By the time anyone else gets to New York and New York City, they're not going to have any fucking people to fucking tax, police, or anything else because everybody's fucking moving. McGuire declined to comment. A spokesperson for Bloomberg said he has, quote, no intention of getting involved in the mayor's race, end quote, but would not comment on the former mayor's dealings with the Biden campaign. A Biden spokesman didn't have a comment. In August, Bloomberg donated $60 million to House Democrats. Oh, no wonder where they're getting all their goddamn money. I totally forgot about that. They've raised like $300 and some odd million when he got retard Harris on his ticket, and it was like the record funding of a day or in a month or something. I can't remember. It was a month, I think, or quarter, whatever. I don't care. It was a record that Obama held prior to. Perhaps some of that, we should see how much of that actually was Bloomberg's money. In August, Bloomberg donated $60 million to the House Democrats, but his fundraising for Biden has yet to show up in campaign finance records. Well, there you go. Should have read a little further. Bloomberg has used super PACs as a way to make donations in the past, and earlier this week, he donated $100 million to historically black medical schools. Political insiders with knowledge of Bloomberg's approach said he's likely to step up his spending for Democrats in the coming weeks as presidential campaign enters into the home stretch. Quote, Bloomberg keeps his word. He'll generally in late, and his donations are generally massive, end quote, said a person familiar with Bloomberg's activities. Yeah, I would say massive. He's got nothing else to do, apparently. So I'll continue this one and maybe the next one, we'll see. Coronavirus deaths in the U.S. could top 400,000 by the end of the year. Updated model predicts. Oh yeah, these models have been so goddamn accurate. Came out 16 years ago. Came out 16 hours ago. Anyway, Fauci, by the way, needs to keep his goddamn mouth shut because I have a retirement fund and it's being affected by the stock market. And if that motherfucker keeps opening his mouth saying, oh, Missouri and South Dakota, North Dakota, and all basically the middle of the country are going to have booming all of a sudden coronavirus cases over the weekend, blah, 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 and the stock market fucking tanks. I wish he would go away. Fauci is hardcore backed by the Democrats. I'm not just saying that. I am actually subscribed to the Democrat Party on my government secrets email, and they have pushed Fauci hard lately. Do you back Fauci? And they want your opinion in polls. Trump has been downing him and meow, meow, meow when we need the best people on the case for coronavirus. And these fucking models have been retarded. So, blah. They said there was going to be like 500,000 like a couple months ago. Who cares? To be honest with you, I'm getting sick of hearing about coronavirus shit. Deaths? Okay, yeah, okay, that sucks. Okay? If you're affected by this, know someone by this who died, I am sorry that they have died. That is unfortunate, and of course that sucks. Many people die from many things. But I'm sick of hearing about the coronavirus, but mainly of the coronavirus cases. Okay? And the deaths, okay, are also sketchy. Very sketchy. Because the hospitals get a kickback for everyone who dies of coronavirus. So, of course, they're going to put down there, even though they may have died of a heart attack, but they tested the motherfucker before he died or after he died and goes, he has coronavirus, so let's not mark him down. And they say the main reason they died was because of coronavirus. But their underlying issue is they had a heart attack earlier in the day. Weird. So it's like, those numbers are so goddamn skewed anyway. And so they're double dipping in different categories. And anyway, moving on. The IHME model has an even gloomier worst case scenario. The U.S. has counted more than 186,000 coronavirus-related deaths. By the end of the year, it might count 224,000 more, according to the updated model from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington, reports Washington Post. The 410,451 deaths by January 1st are expected under the most likely scenario. You know what's funny? Scenario, data, tomato, potato, and what's the other one? There's another one out there. Those are so annoying because I fuck them up all the time because I used to make fun of them. And there's another one. There's a fifth one. So I always say like the wrong one and then I'll say the right one in different videos and people will be like, hey, you said this fucking wrong. And I want to like flip them the finger and bitch slap them. Anyway, offered by the model, which assumes, now I'm thinking about what the fifth one is. Okay. Tomato, scenario, tomato, potato. Scenario. Data. What is the fifth one? What is the fucking fifth one? Whatever. Moving on. Which assumes current restrictions remain the same. Under a worst case scenario, if in which mask usage stays at current rates, but social distancing requirements continue to be relaxed in favor of herd immunity, U.S. deaths could top $620,000 per USA and CNN. Oh, yeah. Trust those news articles or those news outlets. If I trust Fox over US Today and CNN, that's pretty crazy. An additional 100,000, I really trust Fox way over those. Anyway, an additional 100,000 deaths over the next 4 months for a total of 288,381 is seen as a best case scenario, requiring near universal masks per the Hill. So obviously, this one sounds a little bit more logical. Do you wear a mask, by the way? Does anyone wear a mask? I don't wear a mask. I don't. And and James said the other day, or actually today, he's like, if you're wearing a mask, you are protecting yourself and you're protecting me from getting shit you have, right? But if I'm not wearing a mask, your mask is protecting you fucking anyway. So why the fuck do you care if I wear a mask or not? And it's kind of technically true, but all these masks are bullshit. Because even the masks that come out that everybody has that are medical masks literally say on the box, will not protect you from the coronavirus. Probably because they don't want to get goddamn sued, okay? So it's just, this mask thing is ridiculous. Yeah, stay the fuck away from me. Stay 6 feet away from me. Don't cough on me. Don't sneeze on me. That has been the best part of the coronavirus is social distancing. I Love it. I hope that social distancing shit comes into play all the time for the rest of our goddamn lives. I will not wear a mask if it becomes mandated, which apparently it became mandated recently in my county, but then they overturned it for some fucking reason. I don't know. But my brother-in-law wears a mask, and he's all like for it and meow, 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 and has different masks with different, what do you call it, sports teams and stuff, and his girlfriend slash fiance, I won't even get into that bullshit, is like a hard liberal, gets bent out of shape when anybody talks about anything. I've only seen her twice. He's been fucking dating her for like 2 or 3 years. I don't even know. They got engaged like 3 months in. She's a nut job. I mean, it's just whatever. I'm getting way too detailed. Personal details. But honestly, she has a hissy fit. And anytime anyone mentions Trump, she about has a meltdown, apparently. So I wish I actually spoke more to her, because it sounds like she's dramatic and causing a problem. So I would love to cause problems in that relationship, because I love my brother-in-law. He is awesome. I mean, not anything creepy. Fuck you. But he's a really nice guy, and he's helpful and stuff. And I wish he would have found someone really sweet. And I think that sucked, that apparently he found this dipshit. It's unfortunate. Anyway, that is my news articles ad-libbing for the public on YouTube. This is USMC Wolverine. Take care, guys. Have a great day.